Right on, right on, right on. We're back. It's a Monday.
What? It's Monday? Oh yeah, it's Monday.
It sure is. Back at it, Monty.
Boy, you're not quite there when you start talking. It starts to fade in a little bit.
Does my volume?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like it was your mic.
Let me try adjusting my mic and see what happens.
Gets an
What
increase.
about now? What about now?
Now you're spot on.
Oh, right on, right on. Okay, okay. Well, welcome to another edition of Get Found.
And be seen.
Excited to be here, y'all. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, now it's happening
Where you're
again.
tuning in
Carl.
from. It's happening again. Oh no!
Yeah. You just need to project your voice more, I think.
Oh, I learned that lesson a long time ago, Monty. Project your voice. You want to be careful, but I'm going to try something different. What about now?
Well, something's
What about
different.
now?
I heard the change. We'll
Something's
see when you start talking. Say something.
Okay. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't stream. Better?
So far, so good.
Okay, cool. You shouldn't do that in a live stream, but I did it. Here we are. Parakeeta says, hello. Hello, Parakeeta. How you doing?
Hey, Parakeeta. Nice to see you again.
Nice
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I had to adjust my volume for my AirPods, though. So anyway, all this tech stuff, Monty.
Yep, tech. I have a new acronym for tech.
You do? I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, tech is it's time. T for time. It's time saving stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
E is for efficient. It makes things more efficient. That tech does. And then C is convenience. It makes things much more convenient, right? Right?
Mm-hmm.
And H is hoax. Yeah, all those things aren't real. Yeah.
That's good. That's brilliant. I love it. Because you had me hooked in.
Yeah, you thought it was going good. Tech's a good thing.
Good. Then you set me up.
It is, but when it is, and then when it's not.
Here's the insight I got from this weekend. You know, I was singing at church, and I was training another singer on how to read the room and how to engage with the audience. And it's interesting when you do things like that, like what you did, you kind of brought me in, you engaged me into what you were saying. My emotions were heightened. And then when my emotions are heightened, you give that message, that final punch or whatever it is, right? I'm able to receive it better because I'm paying attention. I'm not distracted. So that was insight for me. That's important to share with people because it's important when you read the room, and we'll probably talk about that a little bit today. When you read the room, or if you give a message, you want to know how to engage your audience and keep them engaged. And that's what you did, Monty.
I had you going.
You had me going. You had me going. Happy Monday.
Split second delayed. Ooh.
A split second delayed. Okay, well, that's technology. We're going to keep it rolling.
It is.
Thank you for that, Parakeeta. Oh, yeah. The cool thing is I can look on the side and see and watch myself. My playback screen over here.
The real screen.
The real screen, yes. Oh, thank you, Parakeet. I'm glad you're enjoying that.
Cool.
Conversation with Teresa. She's doing her thing.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Awesome.
Indeed.
On Team Aline.
Team Aline. That's right. That's right. So, Monty, interesting today. I love the topic that you brought up. Do you want to set that up? I love it.
Oh, well, we came up with a whole bunch of different titles. Couldn't choose from them. So I'll just read this one. It was Nail Your Unique Persona. Confidence boosting secrets for coaches or speakers or anyone that needs to be on camera for some sort of presentation event or otherwise. Yeah. Thing.
Yeah, and that's and it does translate also on the stage too, but that's another topic for another day. But that's good stuff. Yeah, I love this topic, and it's great to just keep diving into it because there's so much value to find, so much treasure to find to help people because it helps out with people's development, professional and personal development. Learning how to present yourself on camera.
Yep, I'm your testimony, actually, Carl. Starting out, I was much more. I looking back at our original videos, much more rigid, much more. What are they like a chunk of wood? But reading your book actually was one of the first steps way back when you first published that book. That's been almost a year now, huh?
Almost a year.
Yeah,
almost a year. I love it.
And so that started out, and then being able to hang out with you and absorb your information firsthand is probably why I've been accelerated, because I get that osmosis effect going on.
Right
But
on.
some of the topics I'm sure that we're going to touch base on that you're going to talk about today, I'll be able to throw in. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I did. So.
I look forward to hearing that. Well, let's jump into it. This is becoming one of my favorite things, Monty, because and I'm gonna get to it. I'm setting it up. I'm setting it up. So one of my theme words for this year is process, because for a lot of us, it depends on our personality. We think about the DISC method sometimes, and there are other tools out there that helps people to think about their personality. For a lot of us, we want to get the result in whatever we want to pursue, whether it's pushing our business, whether it's getting more clients, whether it's putting out content, whether it's having great content to go out. But the process is super important in that. So when I think about process, I think about this word, and this word is practice. Practice is a word that people may think about, and they're like, oh yeah, practice. Yeah, everyone has to do that. Yeah, whatever. But practice is the main event in what you have to do. So if you have to practice your lines, or if you have to practice, well, that's what being in a movie. If you have to practice speaking on camera to give content out, getting ready for it, it's important to think about it, because reality, once that camera comes on, once the light comes on, you're ready to go. Your energy's up, your emotions are up, whether you're nervous or whether you're not nervous. It's time to dive in. But the main event is before that. And so it's important to make sure that you practice and give your best to your practice. Because once you do, you can do the next part. You can do that in your sleep. You master it. It becomes second nature.
Practice makes closer to perfect.
Closer to perfect. I like to say permanent, but I like that.
That's right. That's what it was. Practice makes permanent. That's awesome.
Who was that? I got that from Brian Tracy. I think someone. I can't remember, but it's so true. It makes permanent. It's able to stick. You gotta keep practicing, because once you don't practice, it's not going to stick anymore. But it's important to do so. And so when you practice, and I've done this with choreography. I've done this with people singing. I've done this with speaking in front of a mirror. But you want to get in front of a mirror and you want to practice. Because if you could get in front of a mirror, there's so much nuance to it. One, you're able to see yourself. We do it every day, a lot of us. I hope we do it if we're combing our hair. I don't have any more hair. But if we're moving, doing something with our eyebrows or our beard or brushing our teeth, we're used to being in the mirror, and we could kind of subconsciously do it. It's like second nature. But when you get in the mirror, there's so much to it. So you could see your eyes. One person in my audience said, "Man, it's like when you're speaking to me, it's like you're speaking to my soul." And that's when I'm speaking on camera to him, right? I'm looking directly into the lens. But I could practice that in the mirror. I'm looking into my eyes. I'm able to read my emotions. And I'm practicing that process. And when I continue to do that, I just get better and better if I'm intentional about it. There's that word, Monty, intentional.
Intent.
Do it with intent. So it is important to be able to practice in front of the mirror. Now it's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable because sometimes we're feeling subconsciously, we're feeling it, or consciously we're feeling, I don't want to look at myself. This is uncomfortable. You're being purposeful with it, right? But it feels uncomfortable, but it's so important because you get to master what you're doing. You are the instrument. You're the instrument in giving the content or whatever you're doing to give, content or public speaking or whatever. You are the instrument. So it's important to get to know you so you can play those keys or those chords whenever you want at the drop of a dime.
The right keys and chords.
The right keys and chords. Right. Now here's the artist in me, Monty. The right keys and chords. And once you master that, you can play the wrong keys and make them sound good.
That's like falling down and looking good.
That's like falling down and looking good. Now, never forget too, there are some artists who I so admire, like Shaka Khan, Aretha Franklin. Rest in peace, Aretha Franklin. There were artists like that who, when they sang flat, they even sounded so good because they were so soulful. And they had so much intent into how they were projecting. So that's why I meant, that's what I meant by you master so well. Even if you hit the wrong keys, you sound good. Like you can master what you're doing because you are the instrument. No one can master you like you. Impossible. So I might have been ranting a little bit, but that's the point.
But you had intent.
I had intent. I was fired up about it, Monty. This is my yelling whisper.
So we got a couple other ways you could practice, I think, because of course, in front of the mirror, you have, that's it. You did it.
Right.
You got to remember, but if you do it in front of a camera, in front of a screen, you can see yourself on the screen. And if you record it, then you can play it back and be like, okay, what was it about that? What was it? Replay. Oh, my eyes shifted. Oh, my tone of voice went up when it should have stayed even, or whatever. That replay. There's that the sports people always want to look back at what they were doing so they can pinpoint. All right, that was perfect. I need to do more of that. It's like, oops, that wasn't so good. Avoid doing that.
Exactly. And that is such a phenomenal tool. And and let me be clear too. We're speaking about mastery here. This is mastery. Like these are things that everyday people can take for granted, right? But when you practice this, you're gonna come out better. You have to come out better doing it, using these processes. So recording yourself, because even speaking in front of a mirror, right, or practicing in front of a mirror, that might be super uncomfortable. But at least if you record yourself, you could look at the playback and things like that. You're gonna feel uncomfortability as well. That's okay. But you get a chance to.
Those two different things aren't to avoid the uncomfortable part. They're the, whatever's most convenient,
right,
or whatever's most efficient. Because the video is more efficient, but the mirror is more convenient. Also, take advantage of where you're at too. It's not, I got to do it in front of a camera. So while I'm brushing my teeth here, I can't spend 30 seconds when I'm done and do a little practice. No. If you got that 30 seconds, take it.
Right. And
I practice without a mirror. Go out and feed the cats. The cats are great listeners. As long as I put the food in their bowls, they're fine. They'll listen.
Yeah, if they don't have the food, you're in trouble.
Then they're talking. They won't be listening if I don't put the food in the bowl.
Oh yeah. Better feed those cats.
Know your audience.
Know your audience. Cat lovers. But I love talking about these things, Monty, because like I mentioned, it's mastery. There's so many nuances to it. So if you record yourself, one epiphany I came up to too, I made a decision. I'm not gonna, when I record and if I'm watching videos, I need to watch me the most. Not because I'm all into myself or anything like that, because I'm the instrument. So the more I practice, I'm going to be a master at it. I'm always striving to get better. But having that mindset, how much will that accelerate my growth? That's my mindset as I'm pursuing this. So recording yourself, like you mentioned, watching the playback, watching yourself verbally, looking at your expressions. Am I energetic? Do I look tired? I made recordings sometimes like before I was about to fly out, like 4 o'clock in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh, did that work out? Because I didn't think about it. I was trying to get things done before I left the city. But I'm like, uh-oh, was I full of energy? That was a good test for me. But I could play back and watch myself. And I'm not striving to be hard on it. I'm doing it in a playful way, to be honest. That's my strategy. I do it in a playful way. I'm having fun with it. But I'm able to look back and say, okay, here's my feedback for me. I could do this more. Oh, let me try this now. And then it's a journey of exploration when you do that.
I agree. Exploring what works.
Exploring what works. I love how you simply put what I say. That's perfect. Tag
Well,
team.
to have a chance to sit and absorb what you're saying, and then I kind of go through it and say, here's a rebound thought.
I love it. You did that in the Facebook group too a couple weeks ago. I love it. That was perfect.
It's what I do.
It's what I do. It's what I do. So if you're in the audience and you're thinking about recording reels, short form videos, longer videos, just doing it to practice, whether you're doing it to put out content, practice, and then look back and watch yourself. A lot of us don't like to watch ourselves. Like even as a choreographer, as a movement coach, as a speaking coach, singing coach, people don't like to do that. And I get it. It's uncomfortable. But navigate. I'm not saying get over the uncomfortability because you're going to feel uncomfortable. Navigate through it. Navigating through it is making the decision to do it and practicing and watching yourself and giving yourself that feedback. Now, we talked about the mirror. We talked about on camera and recording yourself. I'll say this real quick too. Watch yourself, but also you could also listen to yourself without watching yourself. Use your auditory senses. Well, just use your visual without the words.
I was just going to say that happened the other day where the volume wasn't there. I was just, no, it was with Steven. And he was practicing and he muted his mic, but I still could see him.
Right.
And so I was like, oh, interesting. Get this. You really focus. It changes your focus. You're no longer trying to, so I'm just looking at this now I'm watching myself. I take out the volume and I no longer am trying to think about the topic and the words and the inflection and all those things about voice, because you have a whole chapter on voice.
Mm-hmm.
So just look on the visual part and the presentation visually.
Right, visually. And here's a benefit of that, Monty. And I laugh at myself when I do it because sometimes I'll see myself without the volume and I'm like this. But think about mimes, and some of those other artists. You're able to express yourself more. And if you could express yourself more from the outside, from like on the outward way, you could express yourself more from the inside, which comes from the eyes. So that accelerates your growth when it comes to growing with your speaking on camera and presenting on camera. You want to engage people at every point. And that's a huge leap towards that direction if you want to grow and accelerate your growth. I felt that was important to say that.
I agree. That was a good point. But you were about ready to hit on another great point.
I was about ready to hit on another great point. The next one is you could practice in front of people. Could be family members, friends, accountability partners. That's important to do.
Instant feedback.
Instant feedback. In so many ways. So here we are. We're speaking, right? And even me presenting like this on camera, I can get the feedback from you without you even saying a word. I can get feedback from your expressions from what I say.
Yep.
Or you can give me verbal feedback. So many nuances to it. So many benefits to that. Were you going to say something?
I just agreed. Said, yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. You got visual. You got
Kinesthetic,
hands,
hands.
body stance.
Yes. Yes. You're standing. You leaning forward. We talked about that. Today's a day where I'm sitting down. I'm kind of hanging out comfortable, unplug style.
It's
MTV
too cold
unplugged.
here. I gotta keep on moving.
You gotta keep moving. I hear you. I could have stood up to match your energy, but I'm kind of doing it unplugged style.
You're doing
MTV unplugged.
all good.
All good. But yeah, having that. Now, here's the thing. The challenge is when you do that, you want to make sure that the other person, you can speak clearly, let them know clearly, hey, I'd love to get your feedback, but please don't be biased. Because what happens sometimes is if it's a family member or a close friend, they want you to do so well that they'll force it.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to put another hat on and say, hey, act like you're someone in the crowd without being my family member or my friend. You don't need to push me extra hard. You don't need to do this. Just be a regular person who's showing up to the event. That's it. Because if you force it, you're not going to get the exact feedback that you need.
Right. You're going to get the feedback that they're providing. And
Right.
and here's what I've done with that is I specifically say what I want to hear about is anything that distracts you from my talking and everything that you think I did good. That's the two things that I want feedback on when I'm talking to a family member, because I know that a family member, like you said, they want you to succeed. So they're going to nitpick about every last little thing. Oh, well, your eyes were kind of half closed for half a second there at the third thing. It's like, no. Did it unless that distracted you from my message.
Right.
So that if you have something up next to you, a GIF going on, maybe you have it going on too long or something, and that becomes distracting. Yeah, tell me about that.
Right.
But more importantly, you focus them onto, and you do that, and you say it as number 2 is everything that I do right. Everything that you say, oh, that was good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he said that clearly. Anything. I need the positive feedback, because otherwise they will just tell you should improve this and 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 this. You got more time than this and this and this and that. Oh my goodness! Stop already.
Right. And the
I'm
point
not
is,
looking. How can I become perfect?
Right. Right. and it also depends on the person's intent. Like people like us, we're getting that feedback because we want to deliver value for our audience. We want to deliver value for our potential customers. So at the end of the day, a lot of our people, they don't care about that stuff. They just want their result. But we're striving to be excellent at what we do. So so it's important. If you're a coach or author, whomever you are, if you're a presenter, you're trying to get to that goal of getting better. Just watch out for those things. You want to be able to communicate clearly what you are looking for is when you're getting your feedback. Because if you get more, that can only add sometimes. That can add to your imposter syndrome if that's a struggle for you.
That's what I was getting at, was that because they'll tell you all these things that you need to improve, and then you're like, oh God, I suck.
Right. Let me hang up my boots on my camera.
Or you have to flip to the other side and say, I don't value your opinion.
Right.
And that's not healthy for the relationship either, because you're not getting any good feedback still. And now they don't think you value their feedback. And then there's unhappiness, especially if it's your spouse.
Exactly. Exactly. Right on. Ain't that true if Teresa's listening? Ain't that the truth, Teresa, if you are listening or watching? Love it. So, clothing, what you wear, dress attire, being on camera. Yes. By the way, cool shirt. Shout out to Jim Edwards.
Indeed,
the coach. And so clothing, if you're recording on camera, you want to be aware of what you wear, your colors. If taking a step further, you can wear stuff that complements your brand colors. if you're into that, as far as branding, you want to be careful with patterns in your clothing. If you're wearing, I love patterns, by the way, as an artist. You know, I had a dance company. I still dance with some of the guys, and we wore the craziest clothing. I got to show you sometime, Monty. And we still perform. I coach with them too, and we wear I wear the craziest clothing. And so for that purpose, I can wear it on camera. If I'm not doing that, if I'm speaking or coaching or teaching, instructing, I don't want to wear things that's going to distract people. Heavy patterns. Like today, I'm wearing black, and honestly, I'm very intentional about this. Although you can't see I have a wrinkled shirt, you can't see my wrinkles. I thought that was pretty cool. Sometimes you ain't got time to iron,
and that helps you be confident.
That helps you be confident.
It's like, oh, my shirt's all wrinkly. Oh, but it's black. It won't show up. I'm good.
That's right.
Or I have all these shirts and they're all wrinkly. Oh my gosh, I'll choose the black one because they won't show up.
Exactly. So, but for me, the purpose of me is doing that is because I'm preparing for one of my projects, my Wordovations project, right? So I'm not wearing anything with content on it just today. I'm experimenting because once the Wordovations project comes out, what I have on is gonna represent Wordovations. So therefore, I'm wearing just straight black today. So when I do that, I'm super intentional about it. But for me, I try to stay away from the patterns, the stripes and the crosses and things like that. The small little fine line things that can be a pain to people's eyes.
Those zigzag patterns.
Polka dots, which I love polka dots.
Just on camera, those zigzags on camera, because things are kind of delayed and videos aren't always good. This has this kind of blurry type of thing going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it does, it could do a lot. It could distract people from what you want to say to them. So it's important to wear things that's not going to distract people.
That's that theme.
Yes.
Don't distract.
Do not distract.
If you want your message to get through, you don't want to distract. Yeah.
DND, do not distract.
But there's also the other side of that for the confidence side of the camera of, hey, I'm going to wear the shirt that makes me comfy, that makes me comfortable.
Right.
Because that's one less thing negative in my field. You know, as long as that shirt isn't one of those distracting shirts, you know, it's like, oh, it's the shirt that I've had since I was 12 and it's got like 16 holes in it. And
this is my comfy shirt.
That might be a little distracting. So we'll have to get the next level of comfy, maybe. Get at least a t-shirt, you know, with that's what I always wear. T-shirts. I just want to be comfy.
Right. Parakeeta says, hey, Parakeeta, she says color zebra. I got to show you sometime. I do have zebra pants. For my
under the right circumstances, I bet you those have a good message.
Right. But they're hilarious. And Robert, hey, Robert.
Black polka dot on a black shirt. That's like a Black Panther.
Right.
He's got some spots on there somewhere.
Right. And Parakeeta makes up a great point.
Yeah.
Non-distraction background. Super important.
That's definitely something that can get a little overwhelming there.
Right. And you mentioned that too, Monty, with the whole gift. Like I did a training a couple of weeks ago and my gifts were too long. Oh, that is distracting, but that is pretty cool though. Keep it up. Keep it up there, Monty.
Hey, whoa, don't space out on me.
Don't you space out. I saw what you did. All right. That was pretty good. That was good. Then shades of black work great.
Yeah. I won't argue that at all.
Right?
Yeah.
Shades of black. Yeah. And so ultimately things that help you to feel comfortable. You know, it's you can have your brand now. If you might have your brand logo in the background, you could do that. If you have a brand that you're promoting, that's totally fine. Just make sure that it makes sense in the context of what you're doing and what you're speaking about, etc. Because you want everything. And this is what I learned as an artist. as a choreographer, dancer, singer, whatever, I made it my goal, and that was my MO, just wear things and do things that will complement what you're doing. That's in context of how you're performing. So if I'm singing, I'm not going to wear what I'm wearing when I'm dancing a lot of times, vice versa. So if I'm on camera and I'm speaking and I'm talking about a specific subject like podcasting, I'm not going to be at a baseball game in my background. I could, but I have to work extra to make it work in context. I might speak about it, for example.
Right. If your whole talk was based on first, second, third base and that sort of thing, then
Right.
you could tie it together. But
right, you want to make
relevance,
it make sense.
again, that distraction,
Relevance,
lack of
distraction, context. That's very important. So these are good. Appreciate y'all complimenting. I'm commenting. This is good feedback I'm giving.
Interaction's awesome.
Mm-hmm. And I love that Parakeet mentioned that with the background, because also some people do green screen. You may not want to do green screen. You have that option. If you do green screen, you got to make sure that it's not too much, and make sure it's something that's along with your brand. It's kind of like what I mentioned earlier. You could be outside, you could be at a park. Now, if you're speaking about something really serious, you may not want to be at a kid's playground with kids in the background, screaming and playing. And unless you're a parent, you have to watch your kids. You have no point. You got to do what you got to do. But make sure you keep it in context. And Robert says, as long as it directs focus to your objective, it is not distraction, but also using big distraction at the right time directs attention to what was previously inaccessible. Just a lesson from my stage magician days. I love to hear more about it, Robert. Oh yeah.
Yep. Relevance in time.
Relevance in time.
It's not a random thing. There's some sort of punch.
Right. Punch to it, and not forced. Well, hoax. So good stuff. So clothing, background, all those things are, and lighting, of course, too. As I mentioned it in my book, Speak Confidently on Camera, I was part of a mastermind one time. Vince Reed, shout out to Vince Reed. He is phenomenal with ads and stuff like that. And so I would show up to the mastermind and my lighting was terrible. And the light was shining on my head, and my background was somewhat dark further in the back. And in front, it was dark. So I looked creepy. I just straight up looked creepy.
The crypt thing.
I had to apologize in my book to him. I looked that creepy. So you want to make sure that your light is on point. If you're not that strong with your lighting, it's okay. Try to play around with it and test it out a little bit. I have some content on that as well. If you're interested, put in the comment area. We could get some links to you.
I live with my lighting. I'm in a temporary setting, so I can't do a lot to improve it, except for document. Okay, this doesn't work. This doesn't work. This doesn't work. Okay, then when I do move into my permanent space, I'll have a better idea of how to set it up. But
it works for your purpose, though.
Exactly. I got it to a point where it's like, okay, it's acceptable. Perfection, imperfect action.
Imperfect action. And Robert says, or surrender to chaos theory. Yes. Oh, Parakeet says, is your book on Amazon via Audible? Oh, that's a good question. Not yet. Not on Audible yet, but we're going to get there soon. We're going to keep you, stay tuned, Parakeet. I'm going to keep you posted. It is on Amazon, though.
It is on Amazon.
But not on Audible yet. So, but yeah, it's important. So make sure that background's strong. What's next? Equipment.
So lighting's kind of part of that. It's like make sure that you have it as good as you can. Make sure you don't have the shadows on your face, and make sure you don't have too much reflection in your glasses. I still have some. It really stinks that some of these programs insist on having huge white spaces in the chat box you can't make go away or whatever, and that's a bad reflection. So there's a good little tip. Reflection, the white on the screen. So if your screen's in front of you, if you can go to a dark theme or go to a screen that has less white, you have less reflection.
Right.
So I try and I'm covering part of the screen with another part of the screen, with a different screen, different window.
Right. No, that's great that you're intentional about it.
Right. You know, making it the best it can be.
Right. And you could also dim the screen a little bit too if you need. You just got to be careful with your eyes.
Yeah, you got to balance that out. It's like, oh, I dimmed it. Now I can't see Carl. Where are you, Carl?
Where are you? And then Robert says, can you either talk about key lighting setup for lights? Well,
What do you use, Carl? What's best? What's the best lighting?
The best lighting? You know, for me, I love using softbox lighting. I love using softbox lighting. I also love using the lighting from my window. So right in front of me, my window's there to my left. My softbox lighting is to my left further. And then I have another regular light that's like a soft light to my right. And here's a trick. Here's the thing. This is green screen in back of me. This stuff looks pretty nice, doesn't it?
Looks good.
But it's green screen. So the brightness of the background also complements my lighting. I noticed that. I never really realized that before. But that's part of me testing it out. With me testing it out, I was able to see that and then hear people's responses. And I'm like, it's not just, it's the background too. That helps out. So if I had a darker background, I probably would have had to adjust my lighting a little bit. I'm pretty sure.
Well, my background's an image. It's just a photo of my real background. If I take my green screen down, that is my green screen down. That is what is behind me. But I have one softbox light over here. And then I have some other regular lighting on the other side of a sheet and a screen to diffuse it. And then and I have real light windows, and that's kind of part of it. You can see that even with a sheet up there to block it, there's still a lot of reflection going on. You know, I got so much light here. My green screen camera's gotten a little bit of issue there too. And there's that. Oh well, you can see me, you can hear me. I can deliver my message, and it's not that distracting.
Right. So Monty, Parakeeta asks, what is softbox lighting? That's a great question. And she also says, it looks real. Thank you, Parakeeta. That's encouraging. But softbox lighting, should I share my screen and share what softbox lighting is?
Ooh, tech. Here it
tech.
goes.
Hey, tech. Hey, we're testing things out. Our tech.
Testing tech.
Testing tech.
Like testing dynamite.
Right?
If it works, great. But if it doesn't, it's a mess.
Right? August. So this right here, my friend, this is softbox lighting. Is that clear?
Kind of, you got some in the background too.
I do. Duh, right? Oh my gosh. So this in the background, Parakeeta, this is softbox lighting, those boxes. And the lights.
And I have mine directed straight up. I don't have it pointed at me. That would be way too much light. Then I'd really be glitched out. So it's straight up at the ceiling, and then the reflective light off the ceiling is actually what is the good lighting.
Right. And for me, on my end, if I would change anything, I would have another light on above me, a softbox lighting like over my head a little bit. I'd experiment with it, but I don't really need it per se right now. So, I'm pretty happy with my lighting where I'm at right now. Now, if I do a recording 8 o'clock at night, that's different. But I'm pretty happy with my lighting. And Teresa she does recording in here too. Her preferences are different.
Right. Sure. Yeah, then definitely have preferences, your audience, your tone,
Right.
all sorts of stuff. But with software, you can also compensate. It's like
Oh,
here's
totally.
just enhance. If I had low lighting, I can just enhance it out. You know, you got to be careful. You don't want to like enhance too much. Whoa.
Gotta be careful with Monty, everyone. He gets a little carried away with the tech.
Once again, that tech.
That
See, I
tech.
don't care if it saves time, is efficient or convenient. If is it fun?
Is it fun? Fun.
Oh,
Fun.
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 That's a good segue, eh?
Fun. That's pretty good, Monty. Was it intention though?
No, actually, that was a happy accident.
Oh, happy accident. I like that. Happy accident. And that's the next part. Fun. You got to have fun with it. You got to do things that's enjoyable. Because the reality now is we have so many things at our fingertips that are accessible. Yeah, we have to put extra work in to find those things and to make those things work for what you do. But at the end of the day, you have so many options. So why not have fun with it?
Yeah, you don't want it to feel like a tax. You want to
Right.
feel like an obligatory tax.
Right.
Which and so sometimes it is. Sometimes it is. It's like I have to do this. I mean, if no, I'm not invisible, please.
Right. Oh,
But
don't tempt him. He will get invisible.
but if it's like, oh, I have to give this speech, I have to give this report, I have to give this talk, whatever it is. It's like, or I have to give up my business or give up something. So even though it's obligatory, it's like, well, I can go with that. I got to go do this attitude, or I could go with this. Ooh, what if I do this? Or I wonder how they're going to respond when I do this. Of course, you don't want to distract from your message. It needs
Right.
to help strengthen and deliver your message. But if you are happier and you are pumped up with energy, your message is better right off the bat without
Right.
changing anything else, just because of your delivery and your presence.
Right. Yeah, and then there's so much that goes with that. I mean, you're giving that positive energy, you're giving that fun energy, and people love fun. That you heighten people's awareness of learning because you're making it fun for them. Like the mastermind we're part of with Jim, it's like between with him and Dexter, they're just hilarious to the way they go back at each other. You know what I mean? It's cool, and it engages you. It makes it a show.
Right.
Literally. And so and that's what I think about when I'm on camera, and even with what we do, Monty. I know you think about this too, but if you have so much fun, people are going to want to tune in. You're going to give them that value. It's going to be that show. And you're going to learn so much about yourselves too.
That's the invisible thing. That's none of that was planned. That's just, hey, let's have fun because we're talking about this. This fits in.
Right.
And it's Monday. If you don't have fun on Monday, the rest of the week is doomed.
Right? Like, come on now. Is it raining?
It is, but I don't care.
Oh, we are. It's not raining. Well, no, it's not raining here. Not yet. But you got to have fun with it.
Cold.
Yes. Right. Raining cold. So yeah, avoid the things that feel taxing. You got to have fun with it. But this is a great personal development thing I think about, Monty, because that's one of the main things I go for. I get, based off the feedback I've gotten from clients and students, they come because they want to have fun with me, and I'm naturally fun. I'm fun with my kids. I'm fun with my wife. I'm fun with my friends, my community. So why not I'm going to use your word. You ready for this word? I'm going to keep amplifying my fun. How was that? You like that?
Awesome. I love that word.
Amplify.
Favorite words.
I'm going to use that word sometimes too, Monty.
Amplifying fun. That's even better than amplifying results, which is what I'm usually amplifying.
Oh, dude. Right there. Because we're going to do results. We're getting results, right? If we focus on amplifying fun, are you kidding me? Your results will multiply. Of course, you got to be focused, right?
Right.
And stick to your plan of what you're doing, whether it's a mind map or whatever, with intent. focus on making it fun. And one thing I think about, Monty, sometimes when I'm putting out content or coaching, whatever, I'm like, look, there's a lot of things I don't know how to do, but I do know how to throw a party. And I'm gonna throw a party, baby. Let's go.
And we'll figure out the rest.
We'll figure out the rest. Someone's gonna get the chips. Someone's gonna get the dips. Have fun with it. Make it fun. When you make it fun, you make it a journey. A good journey, though.
It's one of those, when you focus on the right thing and everything else just falls into place. Hey, Robert, thanks for joining. That was awesome. Thanks for jumping in and chiming in, too. That was even more awesome.
Having haircut time. I gotta cut my hair. I gotta shave. Anyways. And Parakeeta says, true. You and Teresa are great parents, teachers, and friends. Oh, thank you, Parakeeta. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, my friend. My sister, I appreciate ya. Yes.
Yep, all revolves around that fun.
Yes, all revolves around fun. So it's good stuff, Monty. I love it. I love today's topic. I got jazzed up and juiced up.
I know you do. You know how I know you do?
How?
You wrote a book on it.
Woo! Okay. I did write a book on it.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And the book is great.
I found it really helpful.
You found it helpful.
I really did. I really did. I there was a lot of, in that book writing thing, there was a lot of people that were helping each other out and buying each other's books and stuff. But there wasn't as much actually reading the books.
Yeah.
And then there was even less feedback. So that's where I made sure that I read your book and then provided you with some feedback. And I still provide you feedback because it's all positive now.
Yes. Appreciate that too. Oh, yes. And by the way, listen, if you didn't get the book, you need to check this book out. You need to get this book. Because I think if you are presenting on camera, if you are putting out content, if you are trying to do short form videos, if you do Zooms, whatever, if you're doing something for your job, if you're presenting in front of a group of people, this would be a great book for you.
I agree. Yep. Live or on camera, large group, one-on-one Zoom meeting with your boss, one-on-one Zoom meeting with a co-worker or with a collaborator. We've been collaborating for quite some time, so there's no longer anything other than fun. But when you first start meeting with someone, you're not sure. Do they like to joke around, or do we need to be really serious? And so where was I going? I got distracted. One-on-one, group of people, live, recorded. Some people don't even want to record themselves because then people will watch it over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, but but it will help you to get to that place where you can, and you could accelerate your growth. Yes, indeed. And Parakeeta asked, "What's the name of the book?" I'm going to let you know. Speak Confidently on Camera, and you can find it at carlaline.com. And it's called Speak Confidently on Camera. It's on Amazon. Phenomenal book. Let me know what you think about it. If you enjoy it, you love it, leave a review. If you don't, feel free to give me feedback. I love feedback. You will enjoy it, I think, though.
Yep, that's even someone who's seasoned. It has cool tips and ideas and angles. I just like other people's viewpoints on stuff because it gives you resources to draw on, even if it's not what you would do.
Right. Options. Parakeeta says, okay, I will look into it. Oh, thank you, Parakeeta. Please do. Yes. So, keeping things simple, Monty.
Keeping things simple. The
Simple.
keep it simple segment.
Keep it simple
That's
segment.
that's almost fun to say. No, it is fun to say.
It's
Keep
cool
it
to
simple
say.
segment.
Keep it simple segment.
Boy,
Yeah.
I think to keep it simple is just go buy Carl's book. Okay. But other than that, a variety of forms of practice.
Right.
Be comfortable,
Right.
and have fun with it.
Have fun. And we did put in their equipment. At the end of the day, just use your phone if you need to. Keep it simple.
You saw I skipped over that one.
I noticed.
Yeah, that if we want to keep it simple, the equipment is not as important. We had the top
Mhm.
3 things. It's that, practicing, that helps. That always is going to help. Being comfortable, whether it's because of clothing or because of the background
Right.
or your props, if you're going to use props. And then having fun, making sure that you can give it your all. I think that
Right.
when you're having fun, you will almost always give your all.
Right.
And if you're not having
Agreed.
fun, you are more likely to be reserved.
Right. Right.
That was a pretty good summary. Keep it simple right there.
That was really good. That was really, really good. Really good. So today was good. I loved it. Monty, I have a question. If people want to find you, they want to learn about Monty and what Monty does, like the web presence. And we're going to be talking about some other things too, as far as course creation platforms.
Or if
All
you
things
just want to
Monty.
understand this tech acronym better.
The tech acronym. Yes, that was pretty cool, by the way. Where can one find you?
All things Monty. You can visit montyarmstrong.com.
Yes, indeed.
That's
Happy
it.
Monday, everyone. Hope you enjoyed our conversation. You've been watching Get Found.
And be seen.
Until next time.
Next Monday.
Next Monday.